Welcome back to the WDS Originals YouTube channel. My name's Jason, and as most of you guys will already be aware, we've been recently building a V10-swapped E92 M3. So in today's video, we're going to be fitting this KW V3 coilover setup and also fitting a big 6-pot brake kit to the front of this V10 E92 M3. So if you guys have ever considered fitting a big brake kit to your E92, or alternatively wanted to fit a set of coilovers, then today's video is for you. And I'm just going to ask, if you're not currently subscribed, to go and hit that subscribe button, as it massively helps the channel grow and enables us to continue on this YouTube journey. Now I'm also going to be explaining why I've chosen certain parts and go through the exact specifics of what we have. Now I have here a set of KW V3 coilovers, which are actually a used set, as you can probably see from the rear shock absorber. The sticker is a little bit rubbed, but this set has done less than 500 miles on a car. I also have a set of Milway adjustable top mounts to go with these coilovers. Now I've read all sorts of good reviews, and I've actually driven E92 M3s with these coilovers before, and I've always been very impressed. So hopefully it will be night and day difference once these coilovers are installed. And when it comes to this brake kit, well, we've got a set of calipers from the front of an Alfa Romeo Quadrifoglio, so off of that V6 turbo, which means these are a big 6-pot set of brakes. We've got all the adapters that have been CNC'd, and we've also had a bit of a hookup from EBC, and we're going to be using their Yellowstuff pads. Now, funnily enough, the previous owner of this car actually had Yellowstuff pads installed on the standard brakes. And as you can see, this car is currently sat on standard brakes and standard suspension, so it's time for quite a few upgrades. Now, I don't really plan on running this car too heavily on track, but it is going to be a bit of a weekend toy, and it will see the odd few track days. So the Yellowstuff pads should be the perfect option. That's because the compound of these EBC Yellowstuff brakes is designed for fast road and also track use. Now, as you can see, we've already started this process, and we've removed the scuttle trims and started getting everything ready in order for us to fit these coilovers and this brake kit. But given that it's almost 20 to 11, I'm actually going to call it a night, and I'm going to pick this back up in the morning.
Ryan Little.
So with the main trimming part out the way, I'm going to now discuss exactly what I'm going to be doing and what tools we're going to need. Now, first off, I'm going to talk about the caliper, and as I mentioned earlier, this is off an Alfa Romeo Quadrifoglio. So this is a 6-piston caliper, which will give us a heck of a lot more braking power than the original brake caliper on the M3. And yes, I am going to be sticking that M sticker on that caliper. Some may call it distasteful, but I think it's suited for this car. Now, next we have the bracket, which you can see has been CNC'd by Freaky Parts. That is a company that you can literally buy these adapters for direct off the shelf, and they supply the hardware and everything you need. Now, as we mentioned earlier, again, I am going to be running a set of EBC Yellowstuff pads, and we've got all the pins and everything we need there. So this really isn't too complicated. All you're going to need is some basic tools, some spanners, some sockets, and of course some things like copper grease, and also a bit of thread lock. So what we want to do here is remove the old caliper, which is actually a pretty simple process. Seeing as we're removing the entire thing, we just need to undo the two 18mm on the back and also disconnect the brake line. So once we've done that, we've got that out of the way and we can start installing the new setup. 18. As you can probably see, I already cracked the brake line, hence the dripping. It is going into a pot just below. So once I've got these off, the whole caliper should pull back towards me, and then I can just unswivel the caliper off of that brake line rather than having to undo it all the way at the top. Now I am going to fit braided lines in due course, but I'm going to also be changing some of the hard lines in the engine bay. So I'm actually going to do all of that at the same time at a later date. So for now, we're just going to get these calipers on. So that's the old caliper there, loosely hovering. Get that 14mm, which is what you need to get that going. And then swivel, swivel. It's amazing how heavy these calipers are. They're a big old bulky unit, to be fair. So although I've added some of that weight in that engine bay, I'm starting to take it off the front end. All you comment people, you've added so much weight. Just for reference as well, by the way, it's only about 50 kilograms heavier. Like, it's really not that much weight. And I have actually set the engine further back than the original V8. So by removing things like these calipers, which they're pretty hefty, we're hopefully not going to be 50-50, but we're going to be pretty damn close. Right, enough waffle about that. Let's get the new calipers. So with these new calipers, we want to install the pads and have everything set up on the actual caliper, and then we're going to bolt the adapter to the car and then bolt that caliper to the adapter. So it's actually quite a simple process. Now, one thing I can't make use of is the original pad connector, because that's obviously for an Alfa Romeo. Now, I regularly keep on top of my cars, so rather than rewiring this, I'm actually just going to snip it. I do advise that you probably are best to rewire it, but myself personally, I'm not going to bother. So with that now gone, it's time to install those pads into the caliper. Now first off, I want to make sure that these pistons are all the way back, and when I do that, it's going to squirt some fluid. So that's all done, and with that done, I'm actually going to install the sticker, which might upset some of you lot, but tough. My calipers, my car, my rules. No expert when it comes to things like this. Right, that's it. That'll do. Sod it. Going on there. I'm going to wait for some comments saying, oh, it's wonky. To be fair, it is a little bit wonky, but I don't care. When it's on the car at an angle, you're not going to see it. So, shh. Only all of you lot that have seen this video will know that that's true. Right, next up, I'm actually going to lay that rag down for protection of the calipers, because I've recently had them painted. And then we're going to install these pads. Now, double check they fit, which they definitely do. I'm also going to fit this little anti-screech, because I hate squeaky calipers, and squeaky pads is my pet peeve. Unless it is a dedicated track car, then it's cool, but on a car that you're driving on the road, it's not exactly pleasant. Everyone turns and looks. So that one there, same with this one. Finger full of copper grease, bit too much that was. Right down the sides, just where it makes contact with the caliper. Obviously everyone's got their own techniques and their own practices, but it's just my preference. Some of you will probably comment telling me that I'm wrong, but you do whatever you want to do. That's my pads now in there. Gentle tap, tap, tap. That's that pin seated, and then get the second pin, which is always the fun part. You can tell I'm not left-handed, can't you? Perfect. Lovely. Clean that off. And that is the caliper assembly complete. Now with the caliper and the pads and everything ready to go, it's time to discuss how this is going to get bolted to the car. Now as you can see on the left here, the BMW caliper mounts from behind. It simply bolts direct to the hub using these bolts at a 90-degree angle. Now unfortunately, the new style caliper actually bolts straight down. So you need an adapter. Now you can get these in a 380mm or a 360mm, which is the factory disc size. Now given that I'm not going to be racing this car around tracks all too often, and that this caliper is pretty substantial, I've gone for the factory 360mm disc, which means simplicity when it comes to discs and pads. Obviously, if you want to go even bigger, you can go for that 380mm setup, as this caliper does also support that. So, without further ado, let's get this on the car. Now, first things first, we're going to install this backing plate that we've already trimmed. As I mentioned earlier, make sure that you don't leave any sharp edges. So the last thing you want to do is be cutting yourself on something sharp. So this goes on from behind. And I'll be honest, it's a bit of a faff to get these 10mm bolts back in. So I'm going to skip this forwards to where this is done. So what we now need to do is bolt this adapter to the actual hub of the car. Lovely. We're now going to grab the caliper, get that on there like that, grab the hardware and start working out where that needs to sit. As you can see, if you line these up nicely, it's very, very simple. Now, one thing I would suggest is always doing these things by hand, because the last thing you want to do is strip the threads out of that lovely new bracket. Now, some of you eagle-eyed individuals probably realise that I didn't attach the brake hose. That's because I'm simply making sure that everything fits perfectly and the caliper is fully centered on that disc and everything looks good. Now with it all confirmed, I'm going to undo them, apply some Loctite and then do it all up properly. Once this was done, it was time to bleed the brakes, do a quick spin test and make sure nothing rubbed. Now I then stood back and assessed that M sticker, and if I'm honest, I'm probably going to take it off. Now the next job on the list is installing these KW V3 coilovers and these Milway adjustable top mounts. Now annoyingly, I am probably going to have the car realigned, even though I've just had it done, but this car needs some coilovers, so it's got to be done. So without further ado, let's get smashing through this. Now thankfully, installing coilovers on an E92 M3 is a pretty simple task. You've got a few 13mm up top, one main pinch bolt, and a few things like the drop link to remove. Once you've done that, you can then refit your actual coilovers and also set your heights. Once you've done the fronts, you can head back and repeat the process. This is pretty simple as the shock drops from below and then you just have a spring and shock combo. And when it's all done, it will look something like this. And if you're anything like me, given that this is 3 days before Ultimate BMW Show, which is the showcase for this car, you'll look like this. So let's see how she sits. Whoa. So that's pretty good if you ask me. I think the rears can come down a little bit. Not much, but a bit. And the front is pretty much perfect. So I'm going to let that settle overnight. And then once that's done, I'll put all those trims and all the bits back in tomorrow, because I don't know if you can see it there, but it's another late night. It's coming up 10:30, and yeah, I've had enough. Yet again, another late night. Finish this off tomorrow. Also, I can go and get from Alan, the CNC man, my custom strut brace and rebuild everything, and then we are done. So with the game plan set, we packed up and headed over to Alan's the following morning. So Alan's actually knocked us up something quite special, and these are going to be my strut brace. So we're going to be using the factory BMW mounting points, but because I've had to relocate that coolant bottle and also a few other bits, I can't run the standard bars. So these are custom made out of aluminium and they're 1/4 inch thick. They're not fully done yet, but I just need to confirm that they definitely fit. Then we're going to send them back to Alan and he's going to anodise them and then engrave the WDS Originals logo on the top of these. So this is just a rough, loose test fit to make sure that they do fit. And as you can see, that's how it's going to be. If you ask me, that's pretty good. So with that, I'm going to spend the next couple of hours messing around getting the heights right, refitting all these trims and the interior bits, and maybe adding some spacers to get that fitment on the front end exactly as I want it. So now that everything's done, it's time to just run this car up the road and make sure that everything's good and nothing rubs. Now I have got Ultimate BMW in just 2 days time, so whilst this car's been settling, I have also taken the sign off my workshop wall and spent some time getting everything ready. Now I had planned for this video to come out before Ultimate BMW, but unfortunately with the timescales of everything, I have been held up. So if I saw you at Ultimate BMW, I hope you enjoyed looking around the car, and I look forward to seeing you on future videos. Once again, thank you for watching today's video, and I'll catch up with you soon.